Hey, what's up, everyone? It's been a while since I made a video. Um, I've been going through a lot, just maintaining my lifestyle, my way of life, working and whatnot, and recuperating after that. I have been in a car crash. Well, not really a car crash, but my car tipped over, which is a long story. Well, it's not really a long story, but not something I'm looking to get into right now. I had an injury, um, and I'm currently at the end of the recovery process. I've been wanting to make some more videos, and the reason I had stopped making videos was because my phone had broken a few months ago, and dealing with a lot of other stuff. So that's what had plugged me up from making videos. Was like my phone breaking using this app. But I have a few gear that I'm looking to set up so I could make the best process. I just need to find. I'm just trying to use the most easiest avenue to get videos out. With that being said, today's video I want to talk about a few things. Anyone seen the previous videos of what I had made about the current status of El Salvador, President Nayib Bukele? And me being sons of Salvadorians is why I've always had an interest in this. Now it seems that because El Salvador had adopted the Bitcoin, that there's lots of people who are not Salvadorian who seem to have been very interested in the state of El Salvador and had been loving the rollout of the adoption of Bitcoin, me included in that. So in that, I wanted to say, yeah. Well, what I want to say was how that had been not such a good uh, rollout, a good implementation, should I say, a good implementation, and it has not gone good, and the country is currently experiencing mass inflation at the moment. But personally, I also think it has to do more with the country having the US dollar as its currency. It's a lot of things a lot of people don't know is that El Salvador uses US dollar as its main currency and its only currency. So there's something to ponder right there. As despite all the backlash that the migrants get and all that, I highlight that the Salvadorian ones are a little different because which for using the dollar, but no one asked them to, right? No one asked them to, but to me, it's more of this is the things you get for using that. It's the benefits have really been close to none for the population. The only benefit is towards the a rich upper class of people, but the it has screwed the people in the country, and the people sending, like, they make this big case about how a lot of immigrants who come to America work and they send their money back home. That's the big talking point, is like, oh, they're gonna work and send their money back home. Well, these guys are sending their money back in dollars, so they're getting that when the people go back in El Salvador to get that money, they're getting it in dollars already. Which and that's not the case for the rest of the other nations around the area. They get they send their money back. Mexicans send their money back. They convert the U.S. dollars to pesos. Guatemalans convert it to quetzals. Hondureños converted to lempiras. So, and the exchange there, which can, each one is respectively done. I'm not one to calculate the differences, but I'm pretty sure that in there is way more that you have in converting your money from the dollar into those respective currencies. Whereas the Salvadorians, what they send back in dollars stays in dollars, and that's the same rate. While the same products are going for almost close to the same price as they were bought in the United States. Like, what do I mean by that? So if you go to the grocery store, what you buy at the grocery store, like in the US, that's the same in El Salvador. It might be a little different, but more or less it'll be the same price in a Salvadoran grocery store, which there's a few. But yeah, so that with Bitcoin, I guess they thought that they were gonna change all that, and it's we could talk more about that later as the use for the everyday person, which I believe in it to a degree, but it's not something so simple to roll out. I think there's gonna have to be mass educational uses for it, but as far as how it's been rolled out, there's a lot of people who, just because they do not like the current administration of El Salvador, which has been a disaster anyways, but they are against Bitcoin. But as before the president came in, over 70% of the population does not have a bank account. So, but poverty is still a big thing. It's just gotten worse anyways, because these oligarch rich people they've been using Bitcoin. They're really using it to launder money. That's what it's being used for. Yeah, you can get into the intricacies of the everyday common use, which is very small. But yeah, like pretty much what it's being used for is for laundering. Like all these, I think what they had was Chivas, all this stuff. It robbed people. All the free Bitcoin that was supposed to be going out was robbed before it ever got touched. And you could really put it down to like a huge effort to undermine the government or whatever. But the point is, it happened and it was a success, and lots of people did not get the Bitcoin. So a lot of people never even got to experiment on this. So as far as like the gang problem, which they still call them gangs, but whatever they are, the transnational organizations or whatever. The whole mass incarceration right now currently, El Salvador has its constitutional rights suspended for so long. It's almost been a year now, probably longer, and they're still suspended. And so there's a lot of questions to be asked, but this right now at this point, it's already pretty much over. So people are not. It's the bag is fumbled, and everyone can see that there's a mass human rights violations going on. Or I think I just read article yesterday. People who are getting out of jail, who have broken no crime, they're literally walking out of jail and being taken back right in for being gang members. And a lot of people like to parade these like Republican, like these right wing things, but in reality, it's always until it happens to you. It's pretty much until it happens to you that it's like, oh wow, this is wrong, or whoa, I never thought it would happen to me. And then it's a problem. And what am I getting at is the Columbians who there was a story, an article. It's being shed to light now. I just saw it on the Guardian, but I saw it on the Washington Post the day before, about two Colombians who were just completely infatuated with Nayib Bukele's implementation of that hard stance on crime, tough on crime policy, which pretty much has happened now. It's like now people they are not fearing. They don't fear. No one fears the gangs anymore. It's like, as in, like, because it's just switched from being gangs to being the state, the authoritarian state, because these cops have a quota to uphold, so they're really doing it for profit. So just at the whim that someone fits a description, they're taking you in, and they're throwing the slammer on you, because they're like, well, you have tattoos, so it'll take a while where anyone believes you anyways, and I get to put a point next to my quota. So that's why there's like an incentive to bring in the regular population, and no one was saying anything. So it felt like, for a while, like, if you're Salvadorian living in El Salvador, it doesn't matter that your human rights were being violated. What mattered was, it didn't matter, which is, it fell back to before the war, where it's like mass human rights violations were being committed. No one batted an eye. No one cared. It was just another day. Salvador doesn't have oil, doesn't have all these big natural resources to extract or anything. So if you're a country that no one cares. But if you're some oil-rich country, oh, it's time for regime change. So that had been happening, and now it's really coming to light. Like, all that is all coming to light now, where, I mean, as of now, it's hitting the mainstream news, and obviously probably down the line they're gonna want Nayib Bukele out of office, which I think, to me, that'll be a good thing, because this whole, but there's a lot of things waiting too, so that can happen after that happens, and that's yet to be seen. It is yet to be seen, but there's a lot of things you can expect. And one of the things is, when they restore the constitutional order back, and they have to, like, let all these people out, there's gonna be like I said, there's gonna be a big bloodbath coming out. Well, yeah, I think almost 13 minutes in, probably change the subject into a few things, bring it back here into the U.S. And as right now, we're currently, I have to say, let me just say this real quick. Yeah, I'm talking about Salvador because I am the son of a Salvadorians, but I am happy to be an American. I have to be. There's no other way I can be, because right now my being of existence in any other place just doesn't fit in. And that's the thing about a Latino person living in the U.S. It's like, I'll talk about this later, like a big identity problem in the United States for Latinos. And I think it's made because a lot of them are made to feel like they don't fit in. And they take on these other personas or identities or whatever. But I mean, I just want to say, first and foremost, I'm proud to be an American. That is my identity. First and foremost, is I'm an American. I love, like, my parents who are Salvadorians, but my father didn't raise me to wave another country's flag, so I'm waving. You won't see me really waving Salvadorian flag.